So I've had my Diamondback Release 4C now for a while, and I've put about 200 miles on the trails on it. And so this is a very quick update, more of a conversation starter. Get some thoughts, some questions out down there in the comments. So I'm just going to go through it real quick. So suspension has worked great, no problems. I have a video where I discuss the settings on the setting the fork and the rear suspension. The fork, I found that it works great. The rear suspension, I found that at 30% sag, I do get a lot of pedal strikes. Let me see. I think I can see the pedals kind of banged up there. Whereas I pumped it up about another 5 psi, firmed up the suspension, much less pedal strikes. So I'm thinking about maybe 25% sag. Another thing I think I did that I think is pretty essential. I have another video where I'm comparing the SLX cassette to the Sunrace, and this Sunrace much better for the trails I do. I now have a 42, a 36, 40, and 46 instead of a 37 and 36 and 46. Much better. Haven't really had any problems with the wheels. People are, these are Novatech rear hubs. The only thing I did do is probably the first month I had it, there was a squeaking noise coming from it. I removed the cassette, re-greased the the hub where the free hub goes, and made sure that the little rubber seal was seated. It had come off. Some dirt had gotten in there, and it just started squeaking. The other thing I did was service the links, all the pivots. I have another video on that. I would recommend, if you get this bike, as soon as you get it, just go ahead and re-grease the pivots. The clicking noise I had was actually coming from this pivot. Once I greased that one, it's been dead silent ever since, even after washing and several rides. Initially I thought that the Dior brakes were going to give me a little trouble because they skimmed, everything. We have SLX drivetrain with the Dior, which is one step down. No problems. I think it was kind of smart for a Diamondback to actually do that, because saves a little money, and the brakes have worked really well, these Dior brakes. Other than that, I put a little frame protector right there. You can barely see it, but that's the only place where I found that the cables rub. So I just put a little frame protector tape there. And I think as far as the other thing is the tubeless tires, they've worked great. Really easy to do. They come pre-taped. I had the rear one go flat once when I came up in the morning. All I did was I found that this was a little loose, tightened it, refilled it, and it has not gone flat since. So the fit, that's the other thing. I'm 5'10" and a half, 32-inch inseam. This is a large frame, and it works great. The dropper, I have it right at the bottom, but now that I'm used to the bike, I could probably raise that up maybe another ½ inch if I wanted to. The cockpit, I like a roomy cockpit, so I cannot imagine, now that I'm used to the bike, I can't imagine myself on a medium, honestly. It would be too cramped. So if you have questions about bike fit, how it's performed, the other thing, the finish on the frame has been great. I've been riding it. I've fallen twice, no big crashes, but no chips on the frame so far. It's held up really well. So if you have any questions, about the bike, fit, how it rides, I absolutely love how it rides. I'm getting more and more comfortable, getting faster and faster on it. Quality of the components, anything I'd upgrade, just let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Like I said, the only thing I would definitely recommend upgrading is the cassette. Made a big difference on the trails I ride, on those climbs. I'm not hunting for that in between gear, and that's about all I would recommend that you would that's like a recommended upgrade. Other than that, of course, the wheels in the future, better wheels, better hubs. But so far, once I service that rear hub and grease the free hub, I haven't had any problems. So any questions, recommendations, experiences with your own Diamondback 4C, just write it down in the comments. We'll get some conversation going.